The energy in the air was almost electric the moment Lisa's long-awaited Dream teaser dropped. Within minutes, timelines were flooded, hashtags were climbing, and fan communities across the globe were buzzing with a single burning question. How did this simple teaser ignite one of the biggest cross-fandom storms of the year? The answer wasn't just in the visuals, the music, or even Lisa's unmistakable charisma. It was in the unexpected collision of two massive forces in pop culture, Lisa and Jungkook. Suddenly, old conversations resurfaced, past speculations were pulled out of the vault, and the internet seemed determined to relive, reanalyze, and reframe everything they thought they knew. The result? A trending explosion that no one could ignore. From Seoul to Los Angeles, from Bangkok to Berlin, fans stayed glued to their screens. The teaser itself was a masterclass in minimalism, only seconds long but crafted to spark maximum curiosity. Lisa's movements, the lighting, the cryptic aesthetics, all whispered that something big was coming. But then came the fan-driven twist. Screenshots and slowed-down frames were dissected to microscopic detail, with some insisting there were subtle visual parallels to a certain BTS member's past projects. It didn't take long for the name Jungkook to start appearing alongside Lisa on trending charts worldwide. For newer fans, it felt like a spontaneous pairing born of recent hype. For older fans, it was déjà vu, a throwback to years ago when whispers of a possible connection between the two had set social media alight. The fascinating part is how quickly the narrative evolved. One moment, people were celebrating Lisa's artistic return with Dream, and the next, timelines were mixing in screenshots from 2016, pairing them with fresh teaser images, creating an unplanned story arc that blurred the line between past and present. This wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about the shared excitement that happens when two of the most influential artists in K-pop history are even remotely mentioned in the same conversation. The fandom machinery kicked into high gear. Edits, mashups, and speculative threads became the fuel that kept the trend alive for hours, then days. Some say this is the power of timing. Others say it's the power of fandom synergy. In truth, it's both. Lisa's brand has been meticulously built over the years, from her fashion dominance with Louis Vuitton and Bulgari to her solo music success to her undeniable influence as a cultural icon. Every appearance, every teaser, every visual is part of a larger, long-term strategy that keeps her relevant and aspirational. On the other side, Jungkook's global presence is unmatched, with his every move dissected by millions across continents. Combine their reach, even indirectly, and you get an unstoppable force in the digital landscape. As the hours passed, global news outlets, fan pages, and even casual observers couldn't help but comment. Some were fascinated by how two completely separate career paths could intersect so powerfully in the public consciousness. Others saw it as a case study in how the entertainment world works in 2025, where content is consumed, remixed, and repackaged in real time, often taking on a life of its own. The Dream teaser wasn't just a music moment. It became a cultural event, amplified by the public's insatiable appetite for connection, speculation, and a bit of playful drama. Halfway through the trending storm, something interesting happened. Instead of fading, the buzz deepened. Fan-created narratives started building a kind of what-if storyline, not because of any official confirmation, but because it was fun, it was engaging, and it kept people talking. This is the subtle genius of organic virality, when the audience becomes the co-author of the story. Lisa Menaben didn't need to comment. Jungkook didn't need to appear. The magic was already in motion. And for content creators, marketers, and industry watchers, this was the ultimate reminder that the most shareable moments are often the ones no one can fully predict. As we move into the final beats of this unfolding phenomenon, it's worth noting how perfectly this aligns with the modern entertainment economy. Brands, labels, and artists are no longer just selling music or performances. They're selling narratives, emotions, and cultural participation. Lisa's Dream teaser was designed to intrigue, but what happened next was the result of years of audience conditioning. Fans are now active players in shaping the conversation, not just passive consumers. Connection, real, imagined, or somewhere in between Lisa and Jungkook gave people a reason to stay, to refresh, to share, and to feel part of something bigger. And here's the kicker. Whether or not this moment leads to any direct interaction between the two, it has already succeeded in the most important way. It's boosted engagement, it's elevated anticipation for Lisa's upcoming release, and it's reminded the industry that emotional hooks are just as valuable as promotional campaigns. The blend of nostalgia, curiosity, and star power is a marketer's dream, and in this case, the fans did most of the heavy lifting. So as the timeline keeps moving, one thing is certain: the Lisa and Jungkook moment of August 2025 will be remembered, not because of official statements or carefully staged photos, but because it felt real, raw, and electrifying to those who lived through it online. The dream may have started with a teaser, but its reach extended far beyond, into the hearts, minds, and feeds of millions. And if history tells us anything, moments like this have a way of echoing far longer than anyone expects. Now, as you watch the dream teaser again, maybe for the 10th, maybe for the 100th time, ask yourself, was it just about the music, or was it about the feeling of being part of something unrepeatable? That's the secret. That's the magic. And that's why you'll keep coming back. And yet, for all the noise, one thing remains crystal clear: Lisa's dream wasn't just a teaser, it was a carefully calculated spark in a bigger fire. This is the art of controlled mystery. A short clip, a few cryptic visuals, and suddenly the world is talking, speculating, even arguing about meanings that may or may not exist. Some marketing masterstroke that doesn't scream for attention but instead invites the audience to chase it, dissect it, and ultimately amplify it. By the time official promotions fully roll out, the audience isn't just curious, they're invested. Here's where the real business brilliance comes in. Every minute spent watching breakdowns, reaction videos, or replays of the teaser is a minute of ad impressions, of algorithmic boosts, of global brand reinforcement. Lisa's image, polished, powerful, and aspirational, travels far beyond her core fandom, entering spaces where casual listeners become intrigued and non-fans become curious. For an artist whose brand value has been cultivated through music, fashion, and personality, this isn't just a release, it's an expansion strategy. Now layer in Jungkook's effect. Even without a direct feature, his name being organically linked to the conversation expands the reach into BTS's massive international base. The digital economy thrives on overlaps, and here we're seeing a textbook example: two superstar fandoms crossing paths, creating a hybrid audience that's larger, more engaged, and more emotionally charged. That's the kind of exposure money can't buy, because it's born from genuine audience fascination, not corporate press releases. What's more, the nostalgia factor acts like a psychological hook. People love to revisit what-if scenarios, especially when they involve celebrities they've followed for years. The reemergence of past dating rumors, whether taken seriously or just as playful fan lore, creates a multi-layered engagement loop. Old clips get resurfaced, new edits are made, side-by-side comparisons flood social media. Every iteration keeps the trend alive, and every conversation subtly keeps Lisa's dream in the center of it all. The beauty of this moment is that it's both fleeting and lasting. In a week, the news cycle will move on. But the emotional memory of this spike, that thrilling, unpredictable rush of seeing two cultural icons trend together, will linger. It will be bookmarked in fan timelines, referenced in future interviews, and possibly even inspire future collaborations or playful nods in their work. That's the long tail of cultural currency, and Lisa has just banked a massive deposit. So, whether you came for the music, the mystery, or the magnetic pull of seeing Lisa and Jungkook's names side by side, remember this: moments like these don't just happen. They're the product of years of brand building, of audience cultivation, of understanding exactly how to turn a whisper into a global shout. And if this is only the beginning of Dream, then we're in for one unforgettable ride. If you want to ride the wave and be part of the next big moment, don't just watch from the sidelines. Share, comment, and stay connected, because in this new era of global entertainment, the story isn't over until the fans say it is. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that subscribe button now, join the community, be first to know, and experience the journey as it happens.